In places designed to heal, two men met an unexplainable end, hidden where no one was supposed to look. Imagine this. You're lying in a hospital bed, post-surgery, groggy from medication, but comforted by the sterile, safe environment around you. The doctors say you're going to be fine. Your family visits and you drift off to sleep, expecting nothing but recovery, but in the stillness of the night, you vanish. Not out of the hospital, not even out of your room. You simply disappear into thin air. And when you're found, it's not on the floor, not in the bathroom, but a place meant only for dust and pipes. How do you explain that? This isn't just a story about one mysterious death, it's about two men in two different hospitals with two different stories, both ending in the same chilling way. And the most terrifying part, no one knows how they got there. October 2017, Stellenbosch, South Africa. Tatika Katsai, a 61-year-old father of 6, checks into the Stellenbosch hospital, one of the most prominent in South Africa for what should have been a routine surgery. He'd been experiencing stomach issues for months, and finally the doctors decided it was time to operate. The surgery goes smoothly. His family visits him later that day, relieved to see him awake, alert, and even cracking jokes despite the discomfort of the fresh surgical wounds on his abdomen. The doctors are optimistic. Tatika is sore but stable. His family leaves that evening, expecting to see him again soon, healed and ready to go home. But the next morning, everything changes. At 5:15 a.m., a nurse enters Tatika's room for a routine check. He's awake and he even smiles at her. She tells him she'll grab some fresh linens to make his bed more comfortable. She steps out of the room for a moment, just a moment, and when she returns, Tatika is gone. The nurse is puzzled. Tatika can barely move, let alone leave his bed. She checks the bathroom, empty. She looks under the bed, even though it seems impossible that he could be there, but there's no sign of him. The door to the hallway was right in front of her the entire time. There's no way he could have left without her seeing or hearing him. It's as if he simply vanished. The hospital staff begins a quiet search, not wanting to alarm anyone, least of all Tatika's family. They check every room, every hallway, every possible place where a confused post-surgical patient might wander. But there's no sign of him. Hours turn into a day and then another, with no trace of Tatika. The staff is baffled. Where could he possibly have gone? By the third day, the hospital finally contacts Tatika's family. They're horrified, not just because Tatika is missing, but because the hospital hadn't told them sooner. Even worse, the hospital hadn't contacted the police. So it's left to the family to notify the authorities. A public search is launched. The Stellenbosch hospital becomes a scene of chaos as police comb through every inch of the building and the surrounding area, but still nothing. Tatika Katsai, a man who just wanted relief from his stomach pains, has vanished from a place where he should have been safest. Days pass. The family is desperate for answers. The hospital staff is mystified. The police are stumped. How could a man with fresh surgical incisions, barely able to stand, just disappear? As days turn into weeks, hope begins to wane. The search starts to wind down, and the Katsai family is left with nothing but questions and an aching void where answers should be. October 20th, 2017, 15 days after Tatika disappeared, a construction crew is performing routine renovations at Stellenbosch Hospital. One of the workers climbs into the ceiling space, a cramped, dusty area used only for maintenance work. As he adjusts his headlamp, something catches his eye in the far corner, something that doesn't belong. He moves closer, his heart pounding in his chest, and then he sees it. Tatika Katsai's lifeless body hidden away like a forgotten memory. He's sitting there, slumped against the wall, eyes closed, his body already beginning to decompose. The worker is frozen, unable to comprehend what he's seeing. How did Tatika get there? This isn't just a place where the public doesn't go, it's a place they can't go. The entrance to the ceiling is hidden, difficult to find, even if you know what you're looking for. And for a man who could barely move, who needed help just to sit up, it's impossible. An autopsy is performed, but the results only deepen the mystery. The hospital tells the family that Tatika didn't die from complications related to his surgery. In fact, they hint that he didn't die from natural causes at all. Something happened to him, something they can't explain. And even more disturbingly, they suggest that Tatika was already dead before his body was placed in the ceiling. Who or what put him there and why? As if this case wasn't baffling enough, it's not the only one. Fast forward to May 2019 in Durban, South Africa, another prominent hospital, another man with injuries that prevent him from walking, and another impossible disappearance. Sandile Sabia, a 53-year-old builder and father of 4, arrives at the hospital after a fall, leaves him with a broken femur, a serious injury that makes walking impossible. He's admitted for treatment, and like Tatika, he seems to be recovering well. On May 17th, Sandile's cousin visits him. Sandile is in good spirits, telling his cousin that he'll soon be transferred to another hospital for further tests and consultations. But after the cousin leaves, when the doctors arrive to take Sandile for his transfer, his bed is empty. Unlike Stellenbosch, this hospital doesn't waste time. They immediately contact the police and a full-scale search is launched. The staff is on high alert. How could a man with a broken leg who couldn't even stand leave his room? The hospital is locked down, every exit monitored, every hallway searched. But Sandile is nowhere to be found. Next day, the staff begins to notice a terrible smell emanating from one wing of the hospital. It's faint at first, but it quickly grows stronger, more nauseating. They follow the stench to a janitor's closet, and when they open the door, they see a black liquid dripping from the ceiling. Dread fills the room as they realize what it is. They call the police, who carefully open up the ceiling, and there, hidden away, just like Tatika, is Sandile Sabia's decomposing body. Sandile's body is removed and an autopsy is performed, but the results are never made public. His family remains silent and the hospital offers no explanation. Just like Tatika, Sandile was found in a place where he should never have been able to go. And just like Tatika, the cause of his death is shrouded in mystery. 2 men, 2 hospitals, 2 bodies hidden away in ceilings and no answers. How could this happen? Were these men somehow able to overcome their physical limitations and hide themselves away in the most unlikely of places? Or were they placed there by someone or something else? Theories abound. Some suggest foul play, but there's no evidence to support it. Others whisper of supernatural forces, of malevolent spirits or entities that target the vulnerable. But the truth? It's still out there, locked away in the dark recesses of those hospital ceilings, and it might be more terrifying than we can imagine. Hospitals are meant to be places of safety, of healing, but for Tatika Katsai and Sandile Sabia, they became something far darker, a place where the line between life and death was blurred and where they met an end that defies all logic. Oh, what do you think happened? Was it foul play, a supernatural force, or something else entirely? The choice is yours, but be warned, once you start searching for answers, you may not like what you find. What are your feelings about this incident? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out the interesting and mysterious videos.